Yung disappear sa room, New Zealand wool.
Everything's going very nicely. Everything's going on schedule because we're creating the schedule in the moment, which I can stick to that time frame. Somebody that connected with me last night on Facebook, all of these people right here have never been in this room. People say that these people can't get along, these people can't get along, and I have happened to see it different in my life. I'm an unfacilitator. It frustrates some people until they end up getting in the room. Marty Murphy, who my brother introduced me, that's a mentor and friend of mine, he said that every once in a while Steve invites me to go to a room somewhere that I have nothing to do with everybody in the room, and every time it's been a miracle. I don't know if it's necessarily been a miracle. Miracle, coincidence, just happen. As long as I'm getting out of the way, I'm all for it. And putting it in language. But Tony here, that started off with the meditation, connected with Tony a short time ago, and he said he wanted to come up, and I didn't make any promises, and he wanted to share something. And I just suggested that you do some affirmation, something that people can apply right away and share. So I wanted to invite Tony up.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. This is a treat for me. I've learned so much tonight, and one of my greatest quotes, Joy, is the greatest of all miracles is I can just be quiet. And I've got it framed in my office. So I appreciate what everybody said tonight. We've talked about the body, we've talked about the spirit, we've talked about breathing, we've talked about water. I'm going to talk about the mind. You know, you've all heard that old adage, the mind is a terrible thing to waste, right? One of my favorite commercials, those 2 eggs, I'll never forget it, sitting on a stove, and they were saying, the mind is a terrible thing to waste. Now, we're talking about drugs, but we're going to talk about health and nutrition, some other things. But it really is a terrible thing to waste. I'm a certified hypnotherapist. I have been for 9 years. I'm a master certified hypnotherapist. And I get the opportunity to deal with people with all kinds of issues. And always it comes down to how they feel inside. There's something happening inside that is just not resonating with them. And so when something's not right inside, it transcends to their mind. Next thing you know, they've got these weird habits like, oh, I don't know, eating food late at night when they're not even hungry, right? They start destroying their temple. They start creating disease in their life, and a lot of it has to do with the way that they're thinking. And so when you think of the mind, what I want to focus in on is some things that you can do to kind of look at things differently and change your mind. Because your past does not have to be your future. You know, I had a stepfather that told me for 10 years of my life that I was stupid, that I never amount to anything, that I was worthless, that don't even try that, you're going to fail anyway. I heard that as a kid growing up. Now, I could have adapted that in my mind and played that tape over and over and over and over and over and over again and been one of those people that maybe didn't do the right things, made the bad choices, spent time in and out of juvenile hall, whatever. I could have been a really beat up kid, but I made the decision in using my mind, saying, you know what? That's not me. That's not what doesn't feel right to be these types of things. And so I became a person that really got really good about being very aware of my thoughts. What am I thinking about right now? Tonight I'm thinking about wonderful things happening. I'm thinking about connecting with wonderful people, hopefully sharing a message that people go, you know what? That moved me. That made sense. That's something different. And so tonight I want to talk about utilizing the greatest tool that you have in your arsenal, which is your mind, and really tapping into that and really controlling your future. I mean, literally, you can literally close your eyes. In fact, everybody just close their eyes right now, and I want you to imagine one gift that you had. If you had all the money in the world right now, what would that gift be? I'm talking material right now. No health, no nothing, but if you could have one gift right now, I'm sure all of you could probably right away think of a car, a house on a hill, a vacation, something like that, right? Just like that, you're able to think like that. You can actually think about something else, like maybe the direction of your life. Like you could think about, you know, I want my life to look like this. I want my life to be full of health and prosperity, life experiences, right? And if you start thinking about those things, and you really put that energy out there, you start manifesting those things. You guys can all open your eyes right now. But you can start manifesting those things. So what we want to do with the mind is we want to program it, kind of like we do our DVRs. You know, we're better at programming a DVR than we are programming our thoughts. We really are. I mean, we'll spend more time getting instructions out and going, okay, how do I tape Oprah? How do I tape Dr. Phil? How do I tape V? How do I tape these shows? Then we go, how can I get in the right mindset tomorrow when I wake up? How can I make more money this year? How can I be more healthy this year? How can I attract more people into my life that will inspire me, that will lift me? And you guys, you can do that by telling your mind the right things. So what I do is I do exercises all the time. Number one is I'm always aware of energy, right? I'm always aware of, boy, you know, if somebody's negative, when you walk into a room, can you just feel it? Can you feel negativity? You sure can. On the other flip side, if somebody's positive, you walk into a room that's popping, right? You can feel the energy, and that's stuff that feels good. So why can't we stay in that state? Well, I'm here to tell you that you can. You know, for the longest time in my life, you guys, you're gonna have peaks and valleys. You're gonna have ups and downs. You're gonna have challenges, and it's all how you view it in here that affects everything around you. So what we're going to do today is using the power of the mind. We're going to just kind of get you in the right mindset to, number one, before you go to bed, think good things. Think good thoughts. Think about what you want your life to look like tomorrow morning when you wake up, right? Think about the things that you want to attract into your life. You know, good sleep. I'm sure if I was to ask people right now, how many people have had a really good night's sleep in the last week? Most people say they didn't sleep good last night, or the last week, or last month, or last year because of stuff that's happening. But what if you could program your mind to say, okay, here's what's going to happen. Mind, tonight when I go to bed, I'm going to sleep like a baby. I'm going to sleep more sound tonight than I've ever slept my entire life. And tomorrow morning when I wake up, I'm going to wake up energized. I'm going to wake up with a purpose. I'm going to have wonderful things attracted to me in my life. And that's what you're able to do by just putting those thoughts out there. So, a lot of people come to me all the time and say, Tony, well, I don't think I can be hypnotized. I don't think I'm hypnotizable. Well, everybody has. If you've ever cried in a movie, if you've ever been driving down the road and you're on a cell phone and you're weaving in and out of traffic and you pull into your driveway, you get out of the car and you walk into the room and you sit back and you go, my gosh, I don't remember even taking a ride at the stoplight. I don't remember sitting in traffic. You guys, that's a state of hypnosis. It's the Greek word for sleep. So what I do as a trained hypnotherapist is I just guide people to a state of relaxation. And in that state of relaxation and peace, in a meditative state, wonderful things can happen. So we're going to do something. A lot of people say, well, Tony, I can't be hypnotized. There's no way that you can do it, right? Well, if you're like that, absolutely not. But let's just see if you are open to suggestions. So what I'd like everybody to do right now is appease me. I want everybody to make a number one sign like this. Everybody make a number one sign, okay? Now what I want you to do, if you're sitting, I want you to hold it up high so that you can't see me. And I want you just to listen to my voice, and I want you to stare at your finger. Go ahead and stare at your finger. Don't look at me, but go ahead and stare at your finger. Now, everybody look at me. Very good. Now, everybody stare back up at your finger. Now, look at me and take your finger really quickly. Look at me. Everybody look at me. Take your finger really quick and put it right on your chin, just like this. Quick, 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 quick. Look around you. Is that your chin? Is that your chin? I got almost. Okay, the ones that are really thinking about it, you guys, for those that are sitting there going, wait a second, this is not my chin. I heard what he said, but I still follow him to do this. You guys, you could very easily hypnotize. Well, everybody else that did that, you guys can be too. You're just thinking too much. So you just need to relax. But for everybody that did this, and usually about 95% of the population, if I say just put your finger right here on your chin, they will put their finger right there. It's kind of like when somebody yawns. What happens when somebody yawns? We yawn. You don't know why we do it. Your subconscious mind goes, God, that feels good. I bet that feels good. And it just does it. Right?